Hi, I am Silvio and this is part 1 of my 2025 Christmas Village full tutorial series. First weekend of July 2025 and here I am once again with my naked plywood that hasn't changed since last season. I haven't expanded, not yet. Maybe I will, but I am not sure right now. So it is still between 13 and 14 feet in length, okay, and 6 feet in depth, almost 4 meters in length by 1 meter and 80 centimeters in depth. This is part 1 of the new season, so I will try to use both metrics and imperial units, but please allow me from part 2 to use only metrics because I am old, you know it, and I am from the old world. So please forgive me. My naked plywood is crying right now. It is asking for some action, and it is naked after all. Imagine me naked in front of... No, sorry. No, delete that image of me naked in front of that camera. Bad example, bad example. I will be crying myself too. So rewind some seconds and forget about it. What you will be seeing on top of this naked plywood during this season? Very difficult to say, especially because all of the past season where I have always used a new team. It's not that easy to think about a new architecture, new team, new layout during the off-season and then be ready first weekend of July with something amazing. No, very difficult. But I have managed to do something. I have managed to sketch and produce something during the off-season. And no, it will not be as dark as last season. And believe me, I received tons and tons and tons of emails because my email address is public and you know it, by the people who weren't able or wouldn't comment so badly on my layout using the video comments, YouTube video comments, but I have been hated so much during the past months. So no, I will not kill Cinderella anymore. I will not have Snow White be the evil queen of nothing with nothing like that, no more that, etc. Not that much. Maybe something gray, not something dark or black. But I will change. And let's forget about all those comments and let's get there. I will try to go as much as possible near reality of what was Victorian time or late Victorian time. And you know, I tend to have my Christmas villages in the Caddington, in the Limax/Lemax Caddington collection period, so full Victorian period, or maybe between pure Victorian 1850 up to 1912, 15, and some years after, but always in that period because it is the pure Christmas spirit. It's Dickens that invented the pure Christmas spirit, and no, you will never see in my Christmas village full of joy. Outside is snowing, let's take a walk, let's do Christmas angels in the snow, jingle bells, silver bells. No, it's too utopic for me. I will always try to stay, when possible and when not deliberate, going outside that theme, stay with reality of the period, of the Victorian era. I had to face another problem with this season layout. Obviously, I will buy some new items from Limax/Lemax and from Department 56 also, but Department 56 maybe has some cute new building, but Lemax once again with the new 2025 collection has deceived me. And you know that Lemax already ate me for what I'm saying, because I tend to be as honest as I can with their production. Practically no new figurines for the Caddington collection, no figurines in that time of period at least, and 2 or 3 buildings. But I'm not here with this part 1 to comment on the new Lemax/Limax collection. And so I tried to focus on 2 main sections. One will be here, one on the opposite side. And I had in mind something that I have sketched. Let me take the sketch I produced, and guys, here I am also from this side. I produced, this was my starting point some months ago. I don't know if you can see everything right now, some elements, some streets. This was my starting point during late January, first 15 days of February 2025. So I want a street, a lane, a large street, a large Victorian era street, and then with buildings from both sides. That is very strange with Lemax buildings and other buildings, because they are all intended to be shown just in face like that, with the camera rolling pure straight in front of those buildings. And I never managed to go with a lane or with a street having from both sides buildings. I will try to do that. This means that I will have the camera filming, sometimes filming the back of some buildings, but I will try at least for some parts to have a street with life in the middle of the street and buildings, and then I will try to film in the middle of that street all along this season, every time I add something to that. And then another section on the left side were more towards industrial time, because Victorian time, Victorian period, Victorian era, especially late Victorian era, was all about new technology, and new technology in that time was industrial technology, industrialization. So from carbon, from coke, from electricity, from steel, and from iron, etc. So new trains, the first cars, the first vehicles, the first powered by steam, then by fuel, so then by oil, then lights, illumination, street lights. Something very strange will happen during this season. But if you don't have in mind, because you are too young, and I hadn't in mind it very well, but I did some research. Allow me to put right now some footage that it is not taken from some old movies, but it is taken real life. So you will see real life footage from more than 100 years ago, more than a century ago, and 5-6 minutes of footage in order to have you get a look, take a look to what I had in mind for this 2025 season, and maybe you have already imagined it from my new intro. Okay, so please allow me to show you this footage right here. Okay guys, so enough of black and white, and let's go once again here. So you have seen all the life of those streets. I haven't found any footage of industrial sites, but I will try to picture them as I can. Then you will also see some strange things. You have always been used to see my old train, that it is similar to this one. It is a 260 locomotive from Bachmann, and I have some spares one compared to the one you are seen me using in past season, last time 2 seasons ago. But this is a pure scale. It is ON30 scale. It is in scale with the buildings, with Lemax buildings. You will see me using this, but I will not use this configuration here. I will dismantle it. I will use blueprints. I will disassemble it, not dismantle, disassemble it, and redo everything except of the motors and of the wheels, because I have in mind something different this season, and the railroad will not be at the main level where it will be the most stable. It will be at an higher level and towards the back. Very risky for derailments, but I will try to do that because I want to do something different and something industrial, yes, but something strange also. I will not talk, and obviously before the end of this part 1 you will see my new companion, Geneviève. Yes, the name is Geneviève, and it is a female companion, as I am used to change each season male, female. Last season was Mac, this season will be Geneviève. A strange name, yes, but it is a French name. Allow me a French name for once. And Geneviève will accompany me all along this season, and you will be seeing her in some minutes, I think. So, what else? Let me try to explain the layout. I was saying, sorry, I had to check the camera, but the battery, sorry. I also have this season this camera here, guys. And let me get in touch with the camera, maybe like that, yes, like that. My standard layout is there. I will start right now because I need to show you something. I sincerely don't know if I will use some water section, simulated water section with Coke or with soap, with transparent soap. I don't know right now. But what I know is maybe I will have to use it, so I need to protect the plywood, and right now I will start by protecting the plywood. Then I will add the first styrofoam layout, and I will use, as always, my styrofoam panels. And by now you know the difference between extruded and expanded styrofoam, because I just made some weeks ago a mini tutorial on that. So I will use 4 centimeters thick panels, 50 centimeters by 100 centimeters, so half a meter by 1 meter. It is 19 inches by 38-40 inches in length. And I will start by adding this, and you will see me working on something strange after that there. But right now I will switch to the other camera and let me protect the plywood with what I will simply use some giant trash bags, plastic, this season they are not black as last season, but this is the only way. This because through expanded styrofoam, whatever I will use, if I ever use something as simulated water, the expanded styrofoam is not waterproof, so it's not liquid proof, and it will be a mess. And if you look at those stains I have on the plywood, those are from past season when I had real water spilling, and then also some hot soap spilled through last season. So let's start, let's get to work, and let's have the plywood protected.
You should feel this heaven all the time for the one you love. If you're ready, make the worlds collide for the one you love. I'm trying to see the fault lines, the trails run cold. You've got me pushing all in. I'm hoping you fall.
Okay, so it is protected. I left out some 30 centimeters from the right side because I don't think I will be using that section there for some fake water experiment, okay? And right now I have protected all the parts I wanted to be protected. I will switch to the other camera, and you can see I was talking about this space here. Sorry for my glasses. I was talking about those 30 centimeters, maybe a little more, maybe it is 40. No, it is 35 centimeters, 40 centimeters, okay? 40 centimeters left out, but I don't think I will have water here. Something else, yes, but not water. I forgot to tell you something before, and I remember it while I was covering this with the protective shredded bags. You have seen in the black and white footage how houses were, but look at how houses are with Lemax. With Lemax or even Department 56, you always have a border all around the four sides. So this border here. And this layout here prevent the use of Lemax slash Lemax slash Department 56 slash every else building from being used like that. So buildings against building, wall against wall, they will always have at least this space here, two times, so with some free space between buildings. It is not doable like that for what I have in mind. I need to almost glue together all the building. That's why, and I forgot to tell you, I modeled many buildings for this season. For this section here with some surprises, and for the elevated section down there. That will be the industrial section, okay? And so I've modeled that, I projected them, I think at them to be buildings to be placed one against the other. Strange, yes, but needed to be that. And also buildings that can be viewed by every side, not just the front side as Lemax. The apartment 56 is a little better because they used to use the bottom side to add the bulb, the light bulb. I will have my buildings with the same technique. The lights will come from the bottom side, but you will see them from part 2. Now I will add some of the styrofoam panels I will need to have there as a base, because I will need to dig sometime, I will need to elevate, and for the first time ever I will have levels that will not simply be between 8 and 12 centimeters from one from the other. I will elevate in certain times more than 12 centimeters max, but it will come as I will add things to the layout. Let me start adding some panels. So guys, those are my standard panels, okay? They are 50 centimeters, so 19 inches by 1 meter by 100 centimeters by 40 inches, okay? And they have a thickness of 4 centimeters. It is the minimal allowable for me to be good to be used in my layout. I will start from where I know I can go.
She puts me at ease. Your skin is soft like a cloud. You keep my heart in a cage, and you won't let it out. I've been lost in your eyes since our paths were alive. I'm trying to figure you out, but I'm in no state of mind. You could feel this heaven all the time for the one you love. You should feel like you could lose your mind for the one you love. Get on your knees, pray the stars alive for the one you love. If you're ready, make the worlds collide for the one you love.
Your woman try to look her best every time your best friend coming over. It seems kind of strange to you, but she says that you're a one-only lover. They're talking, laughing, joking around, and you feel a certain kind of blue. But their conversation changes when you walk into the room. It makes you go, the kind of thing that makes you go, it kind of makes you go. moral of the story is you gotta treat your woman right. Then you won't have to worry or toss.
Okay guys, for now I think for the first layer of expanded styrofoam is enough. I left some spot there. It will be for next time once I've managed to accommodate some of the buildings you will be seeing. Now I will add something. They are not precisely buildings, but they are somehow some walls and some stairs. I will use them as elevation from this is ground level to the first level. They are quite different from what I am used to do, that is adding a second layer of styrofoam having an height of 12 centimeters. Right now I will add those elements and you will understand my starting point. Just give me a second. Sorry guys, I'm completely wet right now, but it's July and you can imagine how difficult it is to work with this little thing on me. So this is where I will start. Those are 3D printed and you can see the white from the inside and this is the outside. Don't worry, you will understand how I did them. In a few minutes I will add a very mini tutorial on what it means to 3D print and then to assemble those pieces and then paint them, because this has been 3D modeled. I think this is a model I did, a 3D model I did in late February. Yes, late February. And I 3D modeled, then sliced it in order to be 3D printed, then 3D printed, assembled, then primed, then 3 layers of gray, then some other colors, and you will see how it is done on the mini, as I said, I will repeat myself, on the mini tutorial. So let's say those will be added on the spot in the left side, and here you have also an example of the stairs, and you will see them closely during my first final recap. So this is a stair, as you can see. I haven't 3D modeled them differently of what I am used to do. I've implemented some architectural elements such as some little pillars, little columns, but it is simply stairs as you have seen me doing, going up, then 90 degrees, then going up another way. Then I also added some pipes. Some are aluminum, some other are copper pipes, painted with a paint that is from Vallejo, V-A-L-L-E-J-O, and it is, in this case, it is first layer of oily steel, then chrome, but a sparse chrome. This is pure copper, etc. And you can see that where they don't need to be connected to anything, this means I will have some styrofoam there, useless to paint them, and to paint them also inside. So this has been done like this. 3 layers of gray, then some Naples yellows, some sienna yellow, some green, 2 shades of green, and then some white. Having them like that, but I repeat, you will see them closely during the final recap. And those will be part of the elevation I will use to get from the ground level to the first level right there. but not entirely, and you will understand. Let me place them there, then I will have to glue them together, and I will show you how I glued them together. Not with super glue, not with hot glue, and not with any type of glue, but with resin and a UV lamp.
They wanted me to be something I'm not. No, I won't settle 'cause I know my worth.
Well, guys, this is my intention. So you have seen what it is like, and then when I will do the first final recap, you will understand it is quite different from what you have seen me doing during the past season. Let me measure this, and I will need my glasses, otherwise I'm blind. Too many years in front of a computer screen. So this one is, the tallest one is 27.5 centimeters from the ground here, Those ones are 18 centimeters. So, and here in the middle, maybe I can turn this a little, but I will disassemble it. I have something that is like a tunnel or a giant pipe there, okay? I will show you precisely during the final recap, but you have some sort of a pipe. I'm not sure what I will do with that, because my intention was to go very deep, to start these from the other side, then I have a long pipe with maybe real flowing water in the center, in the middle, and then going from there. But this will be a spot that will be usable, even this one, and here some other thing. This means that if this is 19 centimeters, 18.5 centimeters, and this is 27 centimeters, that means that I will have a steepness going from the side that will be there and the side and the rest of the layout that will be there. But this is my starting point. And here, in plain middle here, I will have something else, but differently. And all the buildings, guys, will be at this level here. All the industrial buildings will be at this level here. So this is just a middle level that will be populated with something. And here I will have the rest. So it will be a little complicated to assemble everything I have in mind. That's why I needed to start, then think of the other. Yes, I've already 3D printed and primed a lot of those pieces, but I don't know right now where to put them and how to put them. For now on, let me start from this part here, and I will surely assemble those right now, and because obviously this giant piece wouldn't fit on any of my 3D printers. It will need a much more big 3D printer. So I have sliced it in different parts. I will try to assemble this using the UV resin, and let me add some protection there, another one to avoid damaging or spilling any of the resin onto the styrofoam, like that. I will get some resin, a brush, and a UV lamp. So guys, a brush, a plastic glass with some resin inside, and it is a gray resin, as you can see. It is the same I use to 3D print all my figurines, because all my figurines are printed using resin 3D printer. All my buildings are 3D printed with a filament printer. And this is a UV lamp, a standard UV lamp with an on-off switch, and a plug, and it needs to be 490 nanometers minimum of power. UV lamp are measured in nanometers, so this is 490 nanometers. And why I don't use superglue? Superglue needs to be used, yes, but PLA, the filaments, it is a filament, a plastic filament, yes, but derived from corn, so it is green, it is vegetables, and superglue doesn't get very well with PLA filament. I could use some bicomponent, some epoxy glue, yes, but minimum it is 5 to 10 minutes of waiting time before it starts curing. Or superglue with some product, some spray that will enhance, that will speed up the process of curing of the superglue. Tried that, but I am not satisfied, and it is a little risky. And then it also leaves a layer of oily substance onto the part, to the glue. So I will use this, and this is the same process used by a 3D printer, resin 3D printer. It uses some very powerful UV lamps to cure the resin that it is used to produce the figurines. So let me go there, let me get some glasses, and let me try to glue those pieces, and you will see me on the other camera. So guys, I'm here. I will need to go with the UV lamp, but I need to have a meaning of having it connected to the power line. Let's plug this like that. And let's have it plugged like that. Let me check it. Yes, and you can see the UV lamp that is working. Let me have it switched on. So let me start with this piece here. And it is composed by 3 pieces. I will need to go as precise as I can.
Never ever, all these expectations, they don't fit my vibe. I'm a free spirit, a bird and flying high. That's my new version, a different side of me. My New Year resolution is not a fantasy. And I'm not losing hope, no. They wanted me to be something I'm not. No, I won't settle 'cause I know my worth. Nah, never ever. All these expectations, they don't fit my vibe. I'm a free spirit, a bird and flying high. I feel it all around me. We're all lost in a
crowd of people always searching and never will be found. Oh, 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 oh. I'm not losing hope, no, 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 no. They wanted me to be something I'm not. No, I won't settle 'cause I know my worth. Nah, never ever, never ever, oh, 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 oh. Never ever, oh, 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 oh. Never ever, oh, 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 oh. Never ever, oh, 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 oh.
Driving with the windows down, trying just to drown it out. Oh, the silence way too loud. Like a broken record now. Maybe we can work it out. One more drink could cool things down. Yeah. Telling all your friends things that I never said. They're pushing you to get away. Maybe it's your therapist telling you that everything is gonna be okay. Fighting with your head, I can hear it in bed. You're trying to keep me awake. Can I be honest? Just let me be honest, yeah. Can we get over it? Or should we just keep this up? Can we get over it? 'Cause haven't we had enough? Can we get over it? Or are we too deep in love? Can we get over it? No. Can we get over it? No. Wishing we could have some fun, but you won't tell me what you want. Should I just turn this car around? Baby, we're holding on to what we used to feel, wondering if it was even real. Can we ever work this out? Telling all your friends things that I never said. They're pushing you to get away. Maybe it's your therapist telling you that everything's gonna be okay. Fighting with your head, I can hear it in bed. You're trying to keep me awake. Can I be honest? Just let me be honest, yeah. Can we get over it? Or should we just keep this up? Can we get over it? 'Cause haven't we had enough? Can we...
Okay guys, that is only the beginning, I think. But as I told you before, let me show you very quickly, medium quickly, how I did those 3D prints and those paintings. Mini tutorial. Then first a recap of the 2025 season, and you will finally see Geneviève. Good guys, during the past 3 seasons I made a lot of things. I 3D modeled a lot of things. Then obviously I 3D printed them, both with the filament printer, the FDM printer, and the resin 3D printer. I mainly use the filament printers for buildings, big props, etc., where you don't need to be precise in details, precise with details. And I use the resin 3D printer for figurines, because there you need to be as precise as possible, as detailed as possible, especially due to the dimensions of the figurines that are no more than 6 or 7 centimeters tall. There, the precision of a resin 3D printer, it is mandatory. Okay, otherwise the face, the lips, the eyes, the eyebrows. You won't be able to see them with a filament 3D printer. With a resin 3D printer, you go with layers that are 0.035 millimeters in thickness. Filament printers generally are between 0.12 and 0.15 millimeters in precision in layers 8. So very thin layers with resin 3D printer, a little more thick layers. And when layers are thick, you lose in precision, in details. That said, after I modeled something, I needed to 3D print it. Let's make an example, a quick example here with a building that you will see during this season. It is just a little sample of a building, and it is a building that I needed two of them, so this is the second one, and with the roof there. Okay, like maybe I think this, like that. Okay, so this is a building that I've 3D modeled and then 3D printed, and that I needed to split it in different parts in order to get it properly printed, 3D printed. And yes, it is mandatory, and no, you cannot print an entire building that you have modeled in a single step because of the way of the 3D printer to work. And from the front, guys, the building has another aspect, obviously, but you will see it, during this season. You are wondering, what are those things, awful, ugly things there? Here I have already cleaned the pieces. Once the piece come out from the 3D printer, once the 3D printing process has ended, you will have supports. Why this? Simply because when you 3D print something, you go layer by layer. One layer upon another layer, upon another layer, upon another layer. Sorry, it wasn't my intention to start a song. But it is physically impossible for a 3D printer to print something that has not already a support under it. Okay, let's talk about this section here that you will see under it. This is mainly 4 walls that goes up. So those 4 walls, rectangular 4 walls, you can add layer after layer, one upon another, no problem, it will get up, like those 3 walls here. One layer, then the second layer, then the third layer. But when you have to print the roof, imagine that you have a roof here. If you haven't already printed something behind it, my intention is to have a roof like that, covering it flat like this. So if the nozzle of the 3D printer goes here, it will find supports and get it done. But when the nozzle comes here, beep, wah, bloof, the melted filament that comes out from the nozzle of the 3D printer will fall down because it has no support. Imagine having a bottle of ketchup and the bottle of ketchup on the dish, you can have it pressed out of the tube of ketchup, and then it goes on the dish. But if you get the bottle or the tube of ketchup at a certain height and you squeeze your bottle, the ketchup will fall down because it has no support. The same thing with a roof if you want to add it there. Okay, here to start, even if I decide to print this way, but in the middle the melted filament will fall down. That's why you always need to print the first layer on the flat surface. Then each layer needs to be printed on something that is already under it. Okay? So layer upon layer. Supports are there to prevent the filament going to fall down, sorry. And let's imagine this point here. Let me go towards the camera. Let's imagine this point here, the tallest point of this arc. Printing there, it will have failed because it will have, the nozzle will have printed on nothing, on plain air. So during the process I need to waste some filament to create supports for when the nozzle will come to this position here, and then I have something to print onto. If you print at angles or at an angle that is lower than 60 degrees, you don't need to have supports. But here it is almost a flat surface, so you needed to have a support there for this point here. The rest didn't need to have support, okay? Because I print flat. I always print flat. So what I need to do after finishing the 3D printer process, I need to clean the pieces before painting them, assembling them, I don't know. So I will cut the excess, like in this case, I will cut with a clipper, and I will cut the excess of filament. You see that it has come out. Then I will also clean the top here, and it is removable easily, like that. And also from the other side I will remove it. And you can see that even the horizontal parts of the windows there, of the windows frames that are horizontal, needed some supports for when the nozzle is there. This has been printed in, I think, 5 layers, 1 layer, 2 layers, 5 layers. But when it is time to start printing this horizontal part, the nozzle from this point to this point would have printed in plain air, so the filament would have fall down there. So even there, supports were needed. This is principle of 3D printing. I will not go into details, but I will simply use simple aspects of physics, because like everything else in life, even this process is controlled by chemistry, obviously, and physics, okay, mechanics, physics. And I will need to remove all the horizontal supports, the excess of horizontal supports, like in this case, like that, okay. And also from the front here I have a support for this little pipe, then another part of support here, and then also from the inside the main support for the other window, like that. Remove it. And if you are wondering, don't I risk to damage the model removing those parts in excess? No, because the junction between the model and the supports are less dense, so it is easily removable. And no, I didn't have to model also the supports. Once you place this model here on the software that will slice the model and tell the printer start the first layer with this, then the second layer, then the third layer. This is made by hundreds of layers. The supports are created automatically by the slicing software, and they are calculated by the software. So I simply need to model my building, to slice it in parts, and then to load it into the slicing software. Each printer uses its proper slicing software. Then also this piece here are to be removed, and if you are wondering, this is the connector you will see me using many times during this season. This is a new improvement for my buildings for this 2025 season, and this is the part where the power cord will be inserted inside here using this piece here that is an addition. So I modeled during I think January or February 2025 this new way of connecting the power cord to the building, and then I tested it. Obviously I made a prototype, and then once I model everything, the lower part, I always add it to the lower part. So this little piece here that you see, it is where the power cord will get inside. Let's cut it like this. Obviously this is where the power cord from one side or from the back will get in, and then the lights, the LED bulb will get inside the building from somewhere. Okay, I simply need to use another tool to remove the inside and not cut it. Like that, I will remove the excess of filament like this. Another piece here to remove like that. Like that, okay? And so this is cleaned. I will do the same thing for this one, and then go up from there. Now, what else I do with a 3D printed building once it is like that, all cleaned, etc., ready to go to the next step? I will not assemble it. I will prime it. Why? Because this kind of plastic that is an organic plastic, it is made from corn, okay? So this is a PLA, polylactic acid plastic, so it is absolutely green, and it is from corn, not edible corn, okay? So they don't waste food. It is made especially for this type of things. So if I decide to paint it directly with acrylic paints, they will not attach to this plastic, because it is a little like oily, even if it is not real oily. So this plastic is somehow it aids acrylics. Even if you paint them, if you paint all the buildings with acrylics without priming them, at some point the acrylic will lose adhesion to, will lose contact with the building and fall down, and they will scratch the main painting surface. So you need to prime it. What is a primer? A primer is like this one. It is almost liquid component. In this case it is polyurethane, okay, water-based acrylic airbrush color, but is polyurethane component. So what is polyurethane at the liquid state? It is a plastic that can grab very hardly onto something. So it is like having some big nails getting attached to the building with a primer. Okay, it is a paint, it is liquid that when it is dried, it leaves the surface that from the outside, it's like having some small protruding, almost invisible nails that will help the acrylic stitch onto, get connected with the building. I always try to use not physical or chemical terms in this case. So this is a liquid, this is a gray primer, and you can obviously pour it in some container, then use your brush to brush it over, but you risk to make some bubbles. Generally I prime my buildings and my figurines with the airbrush. The airbrush, it's nothing else than a gun, like a piece, like a Glock. No, I'm joking. This is called a gun, okay? Not a rifle, but a gun. And it uses compressed air from this side, and this is the trigger that will open the valve that will allow the air from the compressor to flow through it and get in contact with the fluid that will goes down from here. So it will air spray the primer onto the building, onto my figurines, etc. To prevent the clogging, I generally use a mix of 3 parts of primer and 1 part of airbrush flow improver. It tends to make it less dense, more liquid, but also it will prevent the airbrush to get clogged by a too dense, because this is dense. This is not like acrylic, real acrylic, it is a dense component. I can show you a little of it onto my hands, and it will dry very quickly, and it is like having oops, sorry, I need to get closer. Like that, it is already dried and it has made a surface, and if I goes like that, you will see that it loses parts. So it is like a layer that will help the painting process. And no, I don't paint all the building with my airbrush, only the primer. I only airbrush the primer, then I use my acrylics colors and my brushes, my standard brushes, to paint the buildings. Once primed, and this is a piece of another building, and you can see the difference in color, okay? You can see the difference in color. This is the building coming out from the 3D printer, and I always only use white filament, exception for glasses or if I want something transparent, because it's like then painting on a canvas. The darker the filament, more difficult it will be to hide it under the layers of acrylic colors. Okay, so white, like a canvas, like a painting canvas, then it tends to become gray. Obviously, I have on the market also white primer, like this one, but in white. But I prefer to go with the gray. It is not dark gray, it is a light gray, so it is the ideal color for getting something painted correctly with the correct results of colors. And the inside, obviously, I left it white with no primer, because this is under the roof, so I will not use any colors for the inside. Those one, yes, because I will paint also the walls, so I will go inside. But this is painted, and 2 layers of priming with the airbrush, with a mix of 3 parts of primer and 1 part of airbrush flow improver. Okay, that is nothing else than a mix of chemical components that will improve the fluidity, the liquidity. This is dense, so it is not like water. This tends to maintain the property of the primer, allowing the painting to grab onto the building, onto the piece, but getting it more fluid, more close to the fluidity of the water. That the water is the most fluid things that you can have. I'm not talking about physics there or chemistry there, even if I am tempted to do it. Here I have some excess of things, but I will clean these in a second time. And also this, yes, it is a piece of a secondary buildings, or all my standard buildings I will use for this season are already primed, printed, primed, and some of them already painted, but not assembled. So, after the priming is done, I generally make the main power cords inside, etc. But the next step, the next real step, once you have waited at least 1 week after the priming process, is to blackwash them. I don't blackwash figurines, I only blackwash props and buildings, because the blackwash will increase all the grooves you have, etc., make it older. And you always need to paint after the primer darker toward lighter. First darker colors, then lighter colors. Okay, so maybe I will show you a black wash. It's sometimes that I haven't shown you a black wash. And what is a black wash? It's nothing else than a mix of black acrylic color and water, and a lot of water. So it makes, because I don't want these to be painted, I only want these to be a way to put the accent on the grooves you have on each model. Okay, so maybe I will show you some of the black wash process. I don't know if it is the case to show you how I paint entirely a building. You have seen me painting each time, and apart from telling you that you need to go from black to white, so from dark to light colors, the painting technique is personal. You need to find your proper painting technique. And another thing, I always paint horizontally every layer except for the last one, when I accent the shadows, and I will go vertically with white dry brushing. And yes, I use mainly dry brushing for the other process of painting these. So it is a waste of acrylic colors, but it is intended to be done like that. Let me clean a little before getting into the mess once again with the black wash process. Now let's get messy. Black wash. I will need some acrylic black paint, like that. I will add some water. There is no recipes. The more the liquid it is, the better it is. Then let's mix this. A little more water. Okay, a brush. So this is not to be done with the airbrush, but a brush, extra protection, because it will be messy. It will get painting everywhere. I need a protection for my left hands, because otherwise it will be completely messy also, but I'm used to that. Voila, and then a piece that probably you will see in this part 1 of the new 2025 season. This is not an usual building, I know. I will not explain to you right now what it will be, but this, it has no back. It has been printed in 2 pieces, and before priming it, I've joined them, and you can see with the resin I use for 3D printing the figurines, and then with an UV lamp to glue them together. It is the best way to assemble these kind of pieces that are 3D printed with some PLA plastic. So maybe you can use, yes, some super glue, but it is not that effective because of the nature of the plastic, the PLA, the green plastic. So I've brushed some of the resin that it is liquid, like in this case, you can see that it is liquid inside, okay? It is dense, very dense, but liquid. It is gray here. This one, it is gray. And yes, I use only gray resin to 3D print with the resin 3D printer. And then once I've brushed along the junctions of the two pieces from the inside, obviously, the resin, I use a UV lamp to cure the resin and to get the two pieces assembled together, and this way better than any type of glue. But also this technique, you have seen me using it different times during the past season. Okay guys, so sorry, not two pieces but three pieces, because you see that this has been printed without support, so this on a flat surface. So one piece from here to there, two pieces from here to there from the outside, and then one piece is for the top. Here you have some strange things. Then I did 2 layers of primer and brushed, and this is the result up until now. This has been sitting there for 1 week. Yes, I've primed this last week, so a week. Now it has to be done in steps. One surface, I will wait another surface, because otherwise it will drip down all the black wash. Then black washing is nothing more than accenting, putting the accent on some of the grooves that you have, so it's not a precise painting. It is like that. But you can see that the grooves are highlighted. Obviously it is useless if you don't have some grooves actually, or if you don't have some bricks or something like that. Okay, I don't care if it is not even, better if it is not even, like in this case. It is quickly done like this. Okay, like this, like this, like this. I don't know if I will go with the 2 layers of black wash. For now I will use simply 1 layer of black wash, and I don't need these to become completely black. No, okay, that's why it is a wash. It is some dirty water, okay, nothing else than some dirty water like this. It's not that liquid, so maybe I can go further with it. Okay, like this. And I will go even with this surface here. Okay, it is still a little too wet. It needs to dry a little more, but this is the result. I remember you that the inside will not be covered by any painting. 2 layers of a black wash. The second layer needs to dry some more, I think 30 to 40 minutes. Between the first and the second layer I waited 1 hour and a half between the first and the second layer. If you want, you can speed up the process using some hair dryer, but I'm not suggesting you that because you risk with the heat of the hair dryer to melt the plastic, because once 3D printed, it doesn't mean that the plastic can't be molded or can be melted once again. If you apply heat to the model, this model will flat down because the plastic will melt down once again. It is not a final process. When you 3D print something with the resin, once the resin has cured with the UV light, it will not melt down again. There is no process to melt it down again. It is a definitive process. This plastic here, applying heat, it will melt down. So 3D modeled, 3D printed, assembled, primed, 2 layers of prime and 2 layers of black wash. I will not show you, maybe yes, I don't know yet. I will wait to dry this to dry out, then I will decide if I will show you how I paint this, my painting technique. Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know if it is tedious. Maybe sorry, at very fast pace, maybe very quickly, but right now I will wait. I will wait for another 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, a couple more hours later. Okay, I have a little mess around, but it's normal. I've black washed so many other things. Let's get this done with dry brushing. Okay, guys, what is dry brushing? Is using acrylic paints, and I will start with the darkest possible that it is this gray here, dark gray here. Okay, and then like that, and then some paper, okay, some kitchen paper or whatever you want. Then I take some of the acrylic using my brush. I clean the brush as much as possible. Then I'll start adding this gray on top of the surface.
They never showed me how to even open my arms. I've been dreaming that I'm flying. I've seen the city through the clouds. It's oh so small. Every now and then I'm falling. Say something, say something. Blood rushing to ease the pain. Say something, don't leave me hanging. Say something, don't leave again. Say something, say something. Blood rushing to ease the pain. Say something, don't leave me hanging. Say something, don't leave again. I know that we will be just fine because it's time. Every now and then I'm crying. I'm holding all the pieces just for now. There's room for all. Smile is found inside the fist I'm hiding. Say something, say something. The blood rushing, I ease the pain. Say something, don't leave me hanging. Say something, don't leave again. Say something, say something. Blood rushing, I ease the pain. Say something, don't leave me hanging. Say something, don't leave again.
Well, it may seem ridiculous to you the way I do the things I do. So very sorry, friend, you got no box to put me in. And a tiger just can't go and change its stripes. I fooled you once, I fooled you twice, and I'ma do it again. Can't keep a fox out of chicken pen. I'm a man who needs to go my own way, baby. So don't you go and try to change me, yeah. Tell me you can't, and you know I will. Tell me don't go and I'll keep moving. Baby, tell me I can't, and you know I will. If you can tell me to stop, then I'll keep grooving. Say, woman, you know it is what it is. I got my own beat that I'm marching in, and I can't be tied down. I got eyes that like to look around, and I'm a man who needs to go my own way, baby. So don't you go and try to change me. Tell me I can't, and you know I will. Tell me don't go and I'll keep moving. Baby, tell me I can't, and you know I will. But you can tell me to stop, but I'll keep grooving. Tell me I can't. Hey, tell me I can't.
So final result is this one. It all started like this one with a simple black wash. It is a similar structure, a little taller, but it is a similar structure. So this is a primed and black washed, and this is the final result. It changes the colors. I think it had a more real effect to this. It can't be as real as possible because this is plastic. This is painted plastic. And as this is supposed to be stone, I will not add any gloss effect at all. Okay, so this is how I will proceed with my painting technique all over the season with all my buildings. Obviously I will not use only these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. 6 colors, guys? 6 colors, 4 here, then black and then green, but many more colors. That's all. Final recap of part 1 of the 2025 season, and I'm starting right from her, Miss Geneviève, guys. Let me have her a little more closer and I let you see what she has, what she is wearing. So I modeled her with a long leather coat. In this case I painted it pure red, middle red, and no, I haven't done a gloss finish. I simply mixed for the first time the acrylic paint directly with the gloss finish. In this case I obtained, I think, a good glowing effect like leather is glowing. Same thing for the brown long boots, black leather pants and a leather vest. Then pure white long sleeve Victorian shirt with a long neck, no bow around the neck, no chains, nothing. Pure simple hands, not painted nails. She has a little of lipstick and then long blonde hair, not too light but medium blonde hair, long hair, and a top hat obviously. And she has also some elbow I don't know, bracelet, elbow bracelet, leather also. Then all the metallic buttons are just pure chrome. Oops, like that. Sorry guys. So all the metals, so the buttons, everything is chrome. She also has some brown leather around the knees to close. I've used the simply colors that were at their disposal during Victorian time. This is a little too aggressive for Victorian time? No, I don't think so. She's in control. She's a power woman and she controls everything, and she will always be Madame Geneviève, Miss Geneviève. She will always be in control of everything in this village. So the starting point, those are the medium levels, so you can see that they aren't connected to the ground because here we'll have something else, but it is a medium level in order to have some action here and then even there, then some stairs to get here. All the buildings will be at this level here, and this one is a little taller, 10 centimeters more higher, and so I will have 2 levels, 10 centimeters from this level to that level, some sidewalks going from this level to that level. So with a little steepness, but I am far from that. And from this side you will see that I have something like a pipe, etc. But those are, for me, those are starting walls with some stairs, just a starting point. I needed to take a look to the dimensions, to the space I will need to have at my disposal here for the rest of the buildings, 11, 12 buildings. Then here something else, and then here I will have the long street sided from both sides, having buildings from both sides, as I told you during the intro. That's all, guys. Oh yes, painted them, glued them together, 3 layers of gray, dark, medium, light gray, then some sienna brown, Naples brown or Naples yellow, and then some 2 shades of green, and then a white for finishing all the colors, then some copper for the pipes, and I also had some very green in order to age a little the pipes, the copper pipes, and those pipes are some sort of oily steel mixed with some chrome in order to get them not properly new but aged, somehow aged. There will be plenty of pipes. You also have pipes there in the corner, but obviously here in plain middle you will have another building, so it will be complex. Right now it resembles to nothing, but I assure you that for part 1, for a starting point, I need that. It allowed me to free some space on the working table. Then nothing else, guys. Here plenty of space. I still have some styrofoam to add here in the corner, etc. But I will wait once I've placed some more buildings. And here in the corner I will add obviously some styrofoam, but also some other 3D printed pieces there. And then all the buildings, it will start to get a good, decent look when all the buildings will start to appear on this layout, guys. Once again, from the distance, let me place these, sorry for the movement, let me place these like that, okay? And this was final recap of part 1 of the 2025 season. See you for the outro, guys, in just some seconds. Well, guys, guess what? Part 1 of the 2025 season is about to end. But you finally met Miss Geneviève. Comment allez-vous, Miss Geneviève? Comment allez-vous, Miss Geneviève? I forgot she is so far away from me, and I don't like having her too far from me, but I had to start from that side this season, and this 2025 Christmas Village will entirely be dedicated to her, to Miss Geneviève. It is a starting point. I don't know if it is a mini starting point, a normal, medium, good starting point, but it is a starting point. And it is always difficult to show you a lot of things because I have to set up everything. It is 101 basic starting point, and I introduce you some 3D printing, some painting, etc., some gluing together. With part 2 you will see, and I will introduce you the new buildings. I modeled them and I 3D printed them, etc. But it is a start. I forgot to tell you also that I will also find a place for Lemax/Limax buildings and the Department 56 buildings, obviously. But let me start with something I must get done to complete my vision, to be in line with what you saw in black and white during the first minutes of this part 1. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and give big thumbs up. Thank you for watching, thank you for bearing my absolutely awful English, and see you for part 2, but only if you really wish. Bye guys.